Welcome, everybody, to episode 238 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson. How are you today, Russell?
I'm fantastic. I think the more important question is, how are you?
I survived the AFL Grand Final. I was much more conscious than this time last year, and now one of the teams that beat my team a few years ago knows how it feels when you get beaten by 10 goals by the Brisbane Lions. So,
Yep.
They've done it back to back. Good grand final weekend for the AFL fans. Excited about basketball upcoming in Australia with the NBL crossing over against the Pelicans soon down here. Yeah, lots on the go. It's that I guess the spring rumble before the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's heaps going on. We're going to talk about the Wondershine Index this week. We're going to talk about PSA Slab review.
Mm-hmm.
PSA opening up in Germany. We've got a Scottie Pippen for you ad. I found a cheap case hit. I thought we could talk about that.
Very nice.
Some downtowns. We're going to talk about WNBA and just some general NBA news. And absolutely Zion is going to be in that because he has shown up looking like he's on the same workout regime as Luka. So
yes. Interesting.
He's looking like a new person.
Maybe he is a new person. We'll see. Some people in Melbourne will see it soon.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Wondershine Index.
Can I start off by saying the Wondershine Index is definitely not the nicest, catchiest name for the index. It probably needs a different name. It needs a rebrand.
I feel like this is the most American thing you can almost do, though. Like name an index after yourself.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, it is
like
very...
Aussies are generally, they sort of follow the British sort of line where you're a little bit conservative and...
don't take the credit. Name it after what it is.
Correct,
Yep.
Whereas he considers himself to be Mr. Wonderful and Shine being his business partner. It's the...
literally.
The Wondershine Index, but that's okay. I think it's kind of actually fun, and I think it's interesting how this is my interpretation. It's someone else coming into our hobby that really knows nothing and essentially is a whale. And now he's...
Yeah, for sure.
And now millions of people are listening to this guy. So even though we might look down on him and we might think, he's not for the hobby and, blah, blah, blah. Actually, he's doing a huge deal for the hobby at the moment.
Drawing a lot of attention onto it, yeah.
You can't buy this much press and attention. So I think you do have to talk about this. We have to acknowledge it. And he is becoming a thing. And I actually thought that Fanatics would be doing this somehow and buying a whole bunch of clicks and spending a whole lot of advertising. But ironically, it's actually, it's Mr. Wonderful that's doing it for Fanatics. So that's it. Like, that's the starting point to talk about this.
Yeah.
So basically, I didn't write down word for word what he said on this television show, but I just captured like key points of it. So what drew his attention to it is that $400 million a month are being publicly traded on trading cards.
That's crazy.
And there's more in private deals. So we know that. We know that at card shows, all these transactions go undocumented. We also know on Facebook groups, Instagram, whatnot. I reckon that's going to go into the undocumented part too. I don't think all those sales, if people are doing 10-second auctions, all this type of stuff, there's quotes that Walmart will be doing $1 billion. So obviously this has just piqued up his attention. And a couple of weeks ago, just to summarize, we spoke about him purchasing the dual Kobe Jordan 1-of-1 autographed Logoman. So that's the starting point. So now this week he's back in the news and he's saying that he's now, in that time since he purchased the Jordan Kobe, he's purchased 7 more. So in total, he now has 8 cards in his collection. So
not a bad place to start when you just start. I started Pokemon collecting the other day and I have about 7 or 8 cards. I feel like our collections are a little bit different.
You need to call your Pokemon a name, like the Adam Index or the
AA Index.
Or the Adam Amy Index,
Yeah.
Or the
Amy Adams Index.
Or the Wonderful Adam Index.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the best I got.
I've just, the Adam Index. The Adam Index. The one
I feel
and only.
Like we shouldn't make fun of people going to AA, but that's not great for people who are attending AA.
I'm not marketing. I'm marketing it as an index because then it'd be listing. It wouldn't be anonymous. Fair point. So maybe we might know to figure it out differently.
He also pointed out that he didn't want to be one of these douchebags that holds onto his cards and no one ever gets to look at them. So he's going to bring them to a museum. he's going to time it with Father's Day so that fathers can go with their children to look at his collection.
Can I ask you the obvious question?
Yeah.
Are you going to take your kids to the museum to look at his cards? If this went on
in
tour
Melbourne,
and it was in Melbourne, it was at the Melbourne Museum.
I definitely
Father's
would.
Day. Father's Day only.
100%.
Awesome.
I'm assuming it'll be in Brooklyn or New York or Los Angeles.
I wonder if he takes it on tour.
No, I don't reckon there'd be the money in it to do that.
Which museum's on board, really?
He thinks once he's dead, it's going to be worth $1 billion. So obviously for him, this is a long-term hold. And this is the thing that I wanted to maybe talk to you about. And, it's an interesting sort of thought. He said that people's collections have winners and losers. And I think the other way to talk about that is like, you've prospected on a card and you've lost on it. So the Sekou Doumbouya, the Zion Williamsons, the Admiral Schofields, all that type of stuff. And he said 90% of people, most people have 90% of their value in 2% of their cards. And like realistically, like if you look at the total number of cards in my collection, that probably would apply to me too. So I've got so many base cards just sitting there in boxes. He's probably right about that. Whereas he's just like, cut through all the base, just get to all the big stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was pretty interesting that you might want to comment on this is that Pokemon didn't make the cut at all. And I think this is really a perspective thing in terms of population counts and
very interesting
true scarcity. So,
well, I was going to make the very obvious observation, I guess, with regards to that, saying that with those pop counts that are through the roof, this is about in particular cards very, very low pop, rare, and they probably are serialized, like as far as cards, they're like numbered 1 of 1s, numbered to 10s. Like he's not going to be picking up a Van Gogh Pikachu for $5,000. We're talking millions of dollars in cardboard.
So I don't know Pokemon well enough. They did show the card that he was referencing. He made reference to a $2 million Pokemon card, but he said,
"Is that the Logan Paul one?"
No, it looked like something else. It looked to me like it was purple. Sorry, okay. I can't give any more commentary than that. Honestly, I just don't know Pokemon.
That's fine. It's not even on the radar though for them.
But I think for me, the main part out of that is that I interpret that as like the pop count thing, and I think you can also apply that to basketball too, where it's like he won't be looking at base cards.
He won't be looking at silver prisms.
I don't think he's going to be looking at silvers. I think he might be looking at like 1 of 1s or maybe numbered to 10 or to 5, something like that. I think
something
maybe
that's genuinely scarce, right? Like we've talked about that.
Maybe if the card's numbered to, let's just say it's a patch autograph to 99, maybe he's buying a black label.
Okay.
Or maybe he's buying a PSA 10. I think there has to be some, exceptions to the rule, but, I really think it's that. So what I thought would be fun to do, that's really the end of the conversation. Like that's it. But I thought we can make our own list of what we think could be into the Wondershine Index. Listeners at home, if you would like to build your own potential Wondershine list of what the next 7 cards are going to be, please feel free to comment on socials. I've put one up on Instagram, Facebook, and also Twitter.
Oh, so we're guessing what those other 7 cards are.
I'm going to guess what the other 7 cards are, and if listeners would like to have a go at it,
okay.
Please feel free to do that. I did get a couple of responses back, but to be honest, they were all just like joke responses. So I'm happy to read them just because it's a bit of a laugh. Excuse my pronunciation. Alam Serik said that it's going to be an Oliver Miller Power in the Key PSA 4.
Clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Caliph Khoury said a Zion Silver Prism PSA 8.
Nice.
Which I'm not too sure.
It's a pop count on that.
If a $2 million Pokemon
didn't make it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I think we got one more. See if I can quickly dig this up. Here we go. James Mann, Zion base PSA 10. So that's 2 people who have said Zion, by the way, which is a funny little one.
He's back in the spotlight, though, for the wrong reasons, of course. But
Sekou Doumbouya and Hoops Marks Jackson with the Menendez brothers. So, yeah. All right.
That would be an interesting one.
So without any further ado, I did find some more cards that I think might be on his list.
Okay.
This is the Jordan Kobe BGS 8. This just sold for $488,000. It's numbered to 5. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm also at this kind of point now where I'm like, all these big sales that are happening at the moment, I'm halfway in the back of my head. I'm like, are these being added to the Wondershine Index?
Interesting.
I think that is a very great purchase. I'm guessing that's on his list.
Savvy purchase, yeah, for sure.
I spoke about black labels before.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of my mind, I was probably referencing this card. And we actually spoke about this card last week in terms of like modern classics. So this is the Kobe Bryant 2008, 2009 Topps Chrome, but this is the gold refractor number to 50.
Pop one?
Yeah, but black labels are rare as rare. So again, I'm going to put this into the exception rule. Again, just because of that amazing aesthetics on that card plus the black label. There's no sale price on this, but that has to be $1 million card. I can't see a scenario
that's
where
going to be
not.
that'll, if it's not in the index, it should be, and it'll be if you're trying to get his hands on that for sure.
Someone else's index maybe.
Correct.
All right, I had to go with LeBron James. I think that LeBron is going to be in this index, particularly if we think he's holding this for a long time. I as crazy as this sort of sounds, I think LeBron is relatively infant in his card, in terms of like years being out there for. So even though this is a wild, it's a wild price, but I can see this going up in price. So this last sold for $420,000. This is the 2003 Exquisite Collection rookie patch autograph number to 99. I feel like everyone at home knows this card already. Like you don't need to jump online, to find this card to have a look at it. But maybe what I could actually do is I could put screenshots of every one of these cards up so people can look along as we're talking through the podcast.
Yeah, true. Interesting one. Yeah, all right. What else have we got?
All right, the next one here is the Steph RPA. There has to be a Steph Curry in this list. Again, I don't want to say the same thing I said about LeBron, but I think there's still a lot of growth to be had in these cards, even though they are very high. 2009 National Treasures. This is the horizontal, not the vertical.
Yep.
I don't think that's a big deal, but I'm glad they've fixed that for the modern cards. This last sold for $340,000.
Yeah.
Very interesting on this one is the all-time high. It sold for nearly $800,000 in a private sale. Obviously, that was in COVID, but at the same time, still, like I do think that data is relevant looking into the future.
Yep.
Why can't that card basically double in price? Another Kobe in here. I don't think this has to be Kobe, but I do think that PMGs that are numbered to 10, so the 1997 Metal Universe, the green PMG number to 10. This sold for $2 million, and this sold in February of 22. So that's 3 years ago. I think the Kobe market has significantly increased in the last 3 years. So you could make a very serious argument. This card actually could be $4 million if it was traded today. If there was a card out there that was either PSA 9, PSA 10, or Black Label.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what this card would be, to be honest. Like, what are we going to say? $5 million, $6 million? Like it's hot sauce, honestly, that stuff.
Yeah. PMG's a very rare commodity as well. So.
Keeping in the Kobe vein, let's go back to a 2003 Exquisite Kobe Bryant. Now, look, this might be my own bias, the people who I've got on this list, but maybe these are the people who I value the most. So I've got Jordan, I've got LeBron, I've got Kobe, I've got Steph. Like in my head, these are sort of the important ones. Population on this at BGS 9 is 34. This last sold for 126,000. I actually think that's really cheap, like considering
for sure. For
the prices that we've just spoken about with Steph, and then even comparing it to the PMG, which I know it's two different cards.
Yeah.
This is a complete conspiracy theory, this next one, and I've got absolutely nothing to back it up, but wouldn't this be fun if it was true? So episode 168, if you do want to go back and listen to this.
I remember this one.
Yeah, we broke down the Wilt Chamberlain story because
this is the one that was found in a storage locker, wasn't it? Like in a great
someone dug it up out of something, sent it off to SGC. It got a 10. They sold it for $1 million in a private sale, and then that person re-slabbed it, or had it. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Had it reassessed by PSA and was crossed over to a PSA 10. So,
wow, it's a pop one. It's the only.
That's right, and I think also too, like I was sort of talking to you like before about how LeBron is relatively young.
Yeah.
So what are we 60 years down the line for this card, and there's only one PSA 10. So the chances of there becoming two PSA
Yeah,
10s. I think that's a pretty low chance. And I feel like this is something that probably should be in the Wondershine Index.
probably.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of those cards.
So that's my 7. I'm putting you on the spot here, but I have to do it. What card have I missed? What do you think should be on here?
One of the Jordan rookies.
Okay. All right.
So
I deliberately left that off. So you need to build an argument around this. And if you needed a bit of time just to like pull up Jordan on the cover,
right,
I'll tell you why I left him off.
Oh, interesting.
Well, because if you think about it, Fleer at that time didn't have patch autographs, didn't have autographs. So essentially all of these cards are base. Even at PSA 10, the population is still high. And I feel like what we addressed before was like him not wanting to get high population cards. He's only looking at low pop stuff.
Interesting.
So that's why I feel like that Kobe Bryant with LeBron guarding him, which is the black label.
There are no black labels. I'm having a look.
Yeah, so you take over now because I've sort of told you why I think the Fleer Jordan shouldn't be there. Yeah.
Well, there's only one SGC 10 pristine of that rookie.
Yeah.
There are 335 PSA 10s, but there's only 6 BGS 10s.
So, look, and again, I'm just showing my bias here, and I'm making huge assumptions. I don't think that they want
that
BGS 10s and SGC 10s. I think if they were going to get it, it would be PSA 10, and it would have to be something to mark that card around from everything else. So if there's 335 of them, I don't think they want it.
Okay,
that's my take. Yeah,
okay. But what about the Pop 1 SGC 10 pristine?
I don't think SGC is as important to high-end collectors as it is to PSA. I think PSA is more important than SGC. Look, you might disagree with me, and I'm sure there's listeners at home, but I just feel like that's more... I'm not even sure that's my opinion. I just feel like that's what the reality of the situation currently is now.
You know which one I'm looking for now?
Talk to me.
The Star.
I think the Star is the same
vein,
the same thing, but just a different card.
Wait.
The pop is high.
There's nothing. It's the wrong scoring, Kings.
How about we go to a break? I'll do the ad. While we're at the break, you sort that out, and then we'll come back and we'll close the loop on this conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Alrighty, guys. You Can't Comp This listeners, we have some very exciting news. And when I say we, I mean Adam and I. We hope you also will enjoy our excitement. We have a third sponsor for the show. So this has been something we've been trying to work out for a few months. I will admit, sometimes I do take a little while to get around to replying to my email. So Rod and George at Neon Trading Cards, thank you so much for coming on. We are very happy and very privileged that you want to come on and work with us. So go to neontradingcards.com. There you'll find a range of breaks: soccer, NBA, MLB, Formula One, AFL, WWE, Marvel. They're also on Whatnot. They also have a reward system. The main thing that these boys are known for is soccer. However, they are branching out hard into all of the different areas too. One small thing I will say to all listeners when you're going onto the page, when you click on, for example, soccer, just filter it down to availability and in stock, because otherwise you'll just find all the thousands of breaks that are already done and run, and it's a little bit tricky to sort of navigate that. But once you're around that, you're all good. Also, card grading and consignment services, also sealed boxes for sale. But again, filter that down to what's in stock and you'll see what you've got there. Again, Neon Trading Cards, thank you so much for your love and support. We appreciate it. Adam, we're back. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. I have 2 arguments for you. Now,
hit me.
We've done some research.
Let's do this. Yeah.
While the ad was running, I did some research. Right. You've got a valid point on the 1986 Fleer. I do think it will be one of the 7 because it's Jordan's rookie card, and I think it's an iconic piece of history. So having one of them, I think, is important. And it'll go back to the manifesto that when, like, years and years ago when we talked about the Luba manifesto about what's making trading cards great again, that someone invested in that card, calling it $1 million card. That is like one of the icons of basketball trading cards.
Sure. I just don't think it's that rare, though. That's my take. And
right. So the 1984 Star. So I'll stop you on the pop count there.
Yeah, hit me.
There are no PSA 10s of this card.
Yeah.
There are 3 BGS 9.5s and there are 3 PSA 10s.
Yeah.
9, sorry. 9. That is a very, very, very low pop count.
So maybe they would buy the PSA 10 when it becomes
If the 10
available.
comes out, yes. Or the PSA 9 or the BGS 9.5 is still the highest graded one. And the pop count is sub 5.
I reckon they
There's
wait
only
for
3
a
of
PSA
them.
10 to surface and then they just shoot their load in a huge way.
Noting that the
That would
last
make sense.
PSA 9 sale of the Fleer, of the Star,
Of the
1984,
Star, yeah.
was 925K in May last year.
That's wild, isn't it, man?
So I reckon that's the card.
Yeah.
There's a Jordan. It has to be a Jordan. But you're right. Like, it's a base card.
Yeah.
But that's either the Star or the Fleer. One of them is going to be that iconic one that you have to have in the collection. Everybody that's got one wants to show it.
Mm.
Like, that's the card that you go to the museum to look at, right? One of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do understand like what you're trying to say and how, but I just think...
Well, if he releases the index, we'll find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a time will tell scenario, I think.
That's right. We'll have to have a Luke Longley.
We will. A little bit of an Andrew Gaze into the future.
All right. We were just talking about PSA. So let's keep in that PSA vein. So this is a story I found from Coach Co Collectibles.
Mm.
And what he was talking about was basically someone submitted in a card, got back PSA 9. They were very, very confident it was PSA 10. Yep. And I would say this is the point in time where we pause the story and we ask all the listeners to say, can you remember a conversation you've either had with yourself or someone else that you know that's used this exact same words? I am actually remembering another conversation that I had with John from Fast Break Trading Cards. He, like, word for word. So then he sent it back into PSA under their program that's called Slab Review, which costs $150. It's the fast turnaround. And the card was then upgraded from PSA 9 to PSA 10.
Yep.
And then basically it doubled his money from 2K up to 5K. So that's the incentive for people to want to do this.
Wow.
My take on this, and call me up when I'm wrong here, I just think that PSA should have done their job properly in the first place. And all it does is it incentivizes them to grade them PSA 9, ask people to pay another $150. Now they're getting 2 grading fees and they're getting potentially, a much higher grading fee the second time around.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying, say, $30 or $40 the first time, and now you're paying $150 US dollars the second time. And then they give you the 10. And so, are you just buying 10s? Are they not doing their job properly in the first place? Is it both of them at the same time?
Yeah, it's just like, what, you protest and they upgrade it naturally? Or how? You'd have to be pretty confident to do it.
I've got a card in my collection that, I mean, look, this is the thing of when you buy a BGS 9.5 card, you send it in hoping to get a PSA 10 and it comes back a 9. I know that risk is there, but when I look at that card, I'm like, this thing looks pretty clean, So
you don't see it as yeah.
That's the type of thing where I'm like, actually, I probably wouldn't mind to send this in for card review.
It'd be interesting. I don't know. It worries me being able to send in and go, oh, can you please, here's some extra money. Can you change the grade?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a conflict of interest in their own, within their own
they
processes.
Should have quality control that guarantees their assessments. You're saying you get it wrong.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it is. So should you then get your initial grading fee refunded?
Correct. There's got to be, paying for the privilege of correcting their mistake seems ridiculous.
Or should you get the $150 back? Why, you know what I mean? Why do you have to pay twice?
Why are you paying for it?
So maybe that's the gamble. You send it in, you pay your $150, it comes back as the same grade, you pay the $150. If it comes back higher, I don't know. But then what? PSA would never up it to a 10 then, would they?
I'm curious to know how many reviews they get.
So it's
free money for PSA.
This is not on the list, but this is actually very relevant. Allegedly, they're increasing their fees, and the reason for that is because they've got so many cards coming in. We saw this happen during COVID times where they had so many cards. A way to control the number of cards coming into them getting graded each month was to increase the fee.
Yep.
And I got to be honest with you, I don't want to pay more money for any service. And I'm not endorsing, just increasing fees. That's not what I'm saying. But I also do think you do need to put something in place to stop it. And I think that's a very logical thing. And I also think too, on lower end cards, it does change the complete equation in terms of getting a cheap card, sending it in, hoping it gets a PSA 10, and then you sell it off for, $40 or $50. Like, it sort of takes all that gamble away. And I feel like that's the best way to keep those cheap cards from being sent in and subbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final thing on PSA, which I think actually it's still very relevant. PSA is opening up in Germany. This is from Sports Cards Investor. PSA card is opening PSA Europe in Frankfurt, Germany in summer 2026, marking their first full-time scale authentication and grading operation in Europe. Okay. I think this is absolutely fantastic. This goes along with Germany opening up, and we're just talking about taking some pressure off, reducing down times. Maybe this doesn't reduce down the price, but also to the other benefits of this too is that meet the growing demand for Europe's thriving collectibles market, allow submissions to be processed locally, no more international shipping and custom hassle. That would be fantastic if that was in Australia too. Create 100+ jobs across marketing, operations, and customer service and logistics. Yep, A+. I'm totally fine with this.
Yeah.
Look, selfishly, I would love to see one be open in Australia. I don't think we have a big enough market for that.
No,
not
yet. Yeah.
I hope we can sub to Japan. That will be my sort of compromise or
sub locally.
Wish.
Yeah. Just a closer stops all the nonsense with the US as well.
That's it. All right, this is for you, buddy.
Oh, the Pippen.
Yeah.
Pippen. I spotted this the other day. You'd already popped it in the run sheet, and then I shared it.
That's
again.
okay, but I still think you should run with this. This is your boy.
Yeah. It was a 1997 Skybox EX 2001 Scottie Pippen. The the Essential Credentials PSA 9.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah. Number 211. Is it? No. Numbered?
Yep.
Is it number 211?
Yeah, that's the way I'd read that.
It suggests it is. Sold on the 13th of September for $108,580. That is one Pippen that's probably not going to be in my PC anytime soon.
No, maybe a raw or a.
Oh, I'd love to have the card in a raw type, like a one.
But I suppose even to 11 be pretty hard to get, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, that's a very nice Pippen.
So for me, Pippen's such a tricky one because I put him into that bracket of his talent outweighs the price that people pay for his cards. Like Pippen's just not popular in the hobby. So I'm really happy to see big sales like this happening.
Yeah.
For me, aesthetically,
I'm strange. I don't know. Like, because of who he was the number 2 for, like, I don't know. He'd be number 1 everywhere. Everywhere else he went, he was like the number 1 guy. But
I think this was realistically probably more about me being a petulant teenager, but I loved Pippen more than Jordan.
I had a Pippen jersey. I didn't have a Jordan jersey.
Yeah, I just loved his game. Like, the way he competed and he was all around the court, and
defensive,
I just found, whatever. But like, I don't find this card that aesthetically pleasing, but I do think this is a win for like Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Scottie Pippen collectors. Maybe these higher prices will start to sort of filter out to more of those kind of uncollected but still amazing players. Like,
it shows that there are some still high end chase cards.
I actually wonder at the end of the day what drove this card price up so high was the numbering on it.
It's going to be it's going to be put into it's number 7 of the Wondershine Index. He's a Pippen fan. No, I'm kidding.
Interesting. I mean, it could be. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Anything that sells high these days is like, it's going in the Wondershine Index.
Yeah. There's a bit of that that's in my head at the moment. Like, what is going on with all these cards that's selling so high?
7 cards. The guy's going to have more than that for his exhibition if he's going to send it to a museum.
I mean, by the time he gets to an exhibition, like if he's already bought 8 cards in a couple of months.
Yeah. It's going to be a pretty cool exhibition.
All right, let's do this story, then we'll go for a break because we sort of ran over time for the first section we did. Alrighty, so this is called the cheap case hit section. So this card comes out of Chinese New Year Revolution. Mm-hmm. And looking back, so in particular, I'm talking about 24-25, but actually they've been out the last couple of years. So when you hold it in your hand, it feels and looks almost like a galactic, but it has a slightly different finish to a galactic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those cards that when you're looking at it online, it doesn't look that cool, but it's just really, really nice in your hand.
Die cuts always interest me.
So I think that's the downside of this particular case hit, though. It is a die cut. Typically, die cuts don't do as well, or don't grade well, but also don't sell as well as like a regular card.
It's bizarre.
So the one in particular that I actually did pick up for myself just because I was like, this is just too cheap and it's a case hit. I got the Trae Young for $5 US. So
Wow.
we're not talking about, huge dollars here. The Jokic is selling for around 50 Aussie. The LeBron is selling for like 100. The Wemby is around that 100 to sort of $150, $200 mark. Like it's a little bit all over the place. But, in terms of maybe you wanted to chase a set, it's not a huge checklist in it. I don't mind this card at all, actually. I think it's a really fun one just to check out because, I don't know.
I like it.
I'm very reluctant to say, this is going to go up in the future. I don't think so. But at the same time, I would also probably say I don't think you're going to lose much on this. Like if you're picking up a case hit for $5,
then you're in front, right?
Yeah, my feeling is that card is just, if it's not going to go down, maybe it'll go up just a little bit. So yeah. Alrighty, let's go to a break. When we come back, we will talk about the highest sold downtown on record. Alrighty. Thank you to Fast Break Trading Cards for your support over a very long period of time. Go to fastbreaktradingcards.com. There you'll find sealed products, product storage, and also protection. You can get grading services. When you go into their shop in Tulip Street in Cheltenham, you'll also find fantastic customer service. Keeping in mind they're now open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and also Sunday. Now, this week's spotlight is Disney 2025 Topps Chrome is releasing this week. This is not something that's in my wheelhouse. However, I know there's a lot of fans out there that have been really enjoying ripping this product. I've seen a few videos online about it. There's autographs in it. There was a quad auto. I don't understand how this happens, how they've got the different Disney characters that have got signatures. I don't know who signs them. Is it an employee of Disney? Is it the actual character actors that do it? I've got no idea.
I've no idea at all.
In terms of a round ball that's been coming out, we've got the 2025 Bowman Chrome Baseball.
Okay.
If you're a Bowman Chrome guy, this is one of those releases that you have to get around. It is an important baseball release. Thank you again to the lads at Fast Break Trading Cards. And Adam, we are back.
We're back.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm very good, very good. It's been an interesting one so far.
Yeah, we've been chopping through it. Alrighty, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, 2024 Donruss Optic, LeBron James Downtown Gold Vinyl 1 of 1. Recently sold as the most expensive downtown ever. And actually, this surprises me. There's a piece of mine, I'm like, this doesn't sound as high for every single downtown ever, but also for the all-time high. So this sold for $114,575. We were talking about the Shine or the Wonder Index earlier. Do you think this card is in the index?
Just no.
Okay.
I don't think this is the LeBron. I feel like, and this is just my take on the Wondershine, I think he's going to have 7 different players. It's like assembling the Justice League.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? Like it'll be an iconic. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it won't be. Maybe, but having like a Wilt, a Bill Russell, like I think one from everybody. This is not going to beat a LeBron.
So I feel like for me, this is way under what it should have gone for, particularly at PSA 10.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I as far as a card goes, I don't know. I'm not excited by it.
I wonder if it's one of those cards too. Again, like we're just talking about the star factor.
Yeah.
Does it actually look better when you're holding it in your hand?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's a good point. Because I like there's a Kobe downtown in 2016.
I agree. The artwork on that is not exactly engaging, is it? This looks like a road, a freeway in LA. That's all I'm getting on that. Yeah.
And the traffic's not even accurate. There's only 3 cars on the road. That's LA.
Should be a traffic jam, shouldn't it?
Exactly. There should be like maybe 3 tiny gaps and the rest of the cars. But let's not nitpick, hey?
WNBA review time. So last week we spoke about Caitlin Clark's injury and we're going to keep an eye on it. This is from Market Movers app. This is showing the decline in Caitlin Clark's Kaboom number to 10. So it sold on the 28th of August for $84,000.
Mm-hmm.
On the 6th of September, it sold for $50,000. And on the 21st, it sold for $40,000. I feel like you've been saying this for a while, is that in your mind, WNBA is a very high risk investment.
Agreed.
And I think this is an example of that high reward. high risk sort of scenario. I feel if you bought into this at 50K, even if it goes down a little bit, you're holding onto it long term, I think you're going to be totally fine. I think at 80, that's maybe the price you'd be hoping to sell it for if you bought it at 50. And if you're picking this up at 40, look, I don't have a massive problem with this, but at the same time,
but Caitlin Clark's on the sidelines. She's not playing. It's like,
but if you can go 40K, so 114,000 for a LeBron 1 of 1, I probably think I'd rather the LeBron 1 of 1 than the Caitlin Clark.
Agreed. Completely agree.
But at the same time, for me, this is a really weird one. So, I really think, I don't think that's going to the Wondershine Index. I think that's way too high risk. I think that would be almost.
Is Caitlin Clark going to be one of the cards that goes to the Wondershine Index?
I would say not for another 20 years. Like, I really think he wants established.
Yeah.
That's every single card is a banger.
Wilt, Bill, Magic.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right? So, is the other card that I missed, by the way, the triple, the scoring leaders, the Bird Magic Johnson?
No, in no scenario, I don't think that card gets in. It's just
Really.
I mean, look, if I hate the Jordan rookie card,
right.
You can't then put that card in. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're asking me, that's my answer. Yeah. All right. Back to WNBA. Cameron Brink.
I've just
finite 1 of 1. Just sold for $12,600. PSA 9.
Okay.
Look, for me, this is so challenging. Like, if I'm 50-50 about a $40,000 purchase for Caitlin Clark, I'm way out on this Cameron Brink. I think the person who bought this, I really hope that they bought this for their PC, and I hope that they didn't buy this to flip in the future. You were talking about risk. I find this is the highest risk card that we've spoken about tonight. Yep.
For sure.
I've got my own personal WNBA footnote for tonight. So without going into too much detail, I listed a break this week, went into my cupboard. I like to take pictures of everything before I list them, just so I don't list something that I don't have, which I will admit I have done in the past, so to stop that from happening, that's what I do. I've only got 2 boxes of WNBA left, so I'm like, okay, great, I need to buy some more. Go online to buy some more. None at EJ Cards. None at Fast Break Trading Cards. None at Cherry. So now I'm starting to think what's going on? Look at David Adams. None on David Adams. Go to a place where I know they've probably got some, but I'm going to be paying for it. Basically, I'm paying an extra $200 per box what I had previously paid.
Wow.
And that's before I pay shipping, and that's before I pay taxes at the border. So effectively, we could be looking at double the price. I think this is really interesting, and I think that it says a lot about the market in terms of how much they printed, because they didn't print anywhere near what they printed for NBA. I also think too that it probably says to me that people who have been jumping into the Caitlin Clark bandwagon are now kind of like, well, actually, I wouldn't mind it seeing what a different WNBA product looks like that I can just buy myself. Because I think at the end of the day, that's why that product for me was so appealing. Is because it's like you can open a box for, say, $300. Everyone can have a dabble, even if you do, you skunk out. It's not a huge loss that we're talking about here. And so I actually wonder if people have just been buying these boxes for themselves. I find it really difficult to believe that breakers have just gone out and bought everything, because I haven't seen any retro WNBA breaks. Like, have you seen any listed?
No.
Yeah.
But I also, part of me is a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Obviously, I've gone on my side quest the last few weeks with Pokemon.
Yeah.
But the people have been, and the joke is with Pokemon, if you want to make money in Pokemon cards, just buy sealed product and put it away. So maybe with the boom, especially with Caitlin Clark being the boom, people are just buying stock and putting it away.
Yeah. And I think you can't rule that out.
Because just taking it out of the market makes it scarce, right? And that drives price. I don't know.
Or they've just seen something that they think is just cheap, undervalued.
Yep. Buy a lot of it.
Probably going to go up in the future. Yeah. I mean, it's so, for me, this is so ironic because a couple of years ago, you couldn't sell it.
No one wanted it, right? Yeah.
And you could
that's what Caitlin's done, though. That's
as much as you want at the bottom price, and people were just like, thank God you're taking this off my hands.
100%.
I had 2 cases myself just sitting in my cupboard collecting dust. Like, that's what happened. Like, it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think this is a good thing. I don't think this is terrible, but Just a bit of a footnote to keep an eye on. Into NBA news. We'll do this and we'll go for a break ad.
Yep.
Zion has been putting in the work this offseason. The media day photographs of him looked like a different person. There's one particular photograph where he's sitting with a blue background that's got black and shades coming through. It looks like a different person, honestly. He looks fantastic. His press conference, he seemed very happy to be back playing basketball, happy to lead the team.
Yeah.
If you're a Pelicans fan and you're a Zion holder, this is very, very, very positive news. I think that, where are you at with this?
I have health concerns with regards to Zion
Of course.
And I think even if he slimmed down, has his body taken too much of a toll already? So my big concern is how long does he stay healthy for?
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope he keeps it off. I hope if he gets in a good shape and he gets in the match, bit of bulk through the season, but it's just that's muscle. It's not going to be anything else. Like he could be, a machine. Who knows?
So we've already seen a market reaction to this. Yeah. So this traded at $208, September the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 sales go like this: $299, $340, $360, and $379. In the last month, he's up 70%. That is a huge jump.
Geez, the market reacts very quickly and
very quickly,
doesn't it?
So
just
that's
steadily,
a fun one.
Just steadily increasing.
Population on this is 1,852. Look, I personally think the strategy on this is probably to unload Zions that you've already got as he starts to pick up again.
I'm sorry, but if you're paying more than $200 for a Zion rookie, you got rocks in your head. Something's wrong. How many times has this guy let people down?
Yeah, 100%. I think this card could easily go to 500. I think there's no.
I mean, aside from Phoenix fans, like
this could go to 600. I would say easy.
But
easy.
But what happens if he gets injured? Game 3, he's out for 6 weeks. You go,
sure, that's a $200 card again. We've seen that
instantly.
The story's been written already. Yeah,
but he's prone to it now. I don't know. I worry. I wouldn't be knee jerking on Zion based on an image. Seeing Luka fit and playing in the Euro, that was a positive sign, right? But he was outputting on the floor. Zion's just got slim. He hasn't played any games. He just got slim.
Maybe it will get to 600 after they everyone watches Zion dunk on all the Aussies.
When Zion loses to Melbourne United, it gets owned by... No, that's not going to happen. Anyway.
Thank you to US Sports Cards Australia for your love and ongoing support. Go to ussportscardsaustralia.com.au and there you will find sports breaks, check out my Cards Australia, singles, collectible protection, hobby boxes, sports memorabilia, and toys. Ross's pet project at the moment is his Check Out My Cards Australia. He's just had another massive submission this week. He's also working out how to do the bulk uploading and also the bulk pricing on all of his cards. So he's very happy about that. He was raving about that in the group chat this week. Don't forget, when you do your submission, write You Can't Comp This on there for a completely free submission. Thank you to US Sports Cards Australia for your ongoing support. Alrighty, buddy, we are back.
Into the final countdown.
Final countdown, we're going to talk about a Mr. Jared, spelt Jared, McCain. He was the rookie from the Philadelphia 76ers last year. He signed for Panini, and also he had a good rookie year. People went crazy for this kid. I think that he's a really tricky one for me to prospect because I think he's on actually like a pretty good team in Philadelphia, but then they had an absolutely terrible year last year.
True. Very true.
I just sort of I just worry about this guy, like in terms of over buying into him, but at the same time, people have loved him. So I think I'm on the outside for this guy, honestly, in terms of.
Well, hopefully he hasn't hurt himself too bad, and it's only small injury. So
yeah, so an injury update for this young man is that he's tore his UCL in his right thumb.
Yeah, that could be a niggling of a hell of an injury, though.
I think that's like a 6-month injury. I don't think that's a quick one.
Oh, it's a hand injury, so
yeah,
could impact a lot of things like his shooting. Yeah.
So this was just announced 2 days ago. I couldn't find anything that actually said this is his timeline. I think it's too soon for all that type of stuff. So we might have an update on that next week. I thought what we could actually do, though, is go onto Card Ladder. He's not on the index. However, he does have his sales on there, and we could go through some of his highest sold.
Sure.
His black 1/1 rookie card, PSA 8, sold for $24,000, which is really interesting because that's actually his highest sold card, which outsold NT RPAs.
Wow.
His Optic Kaboom 3 out of 10, that sold for $16,000. His Kaboom Gold to 10 PSA, what is that? PSA 8, that sold for $12,000. Scrolling down a little bit, going to look at his National Treasures, BGS 8.5, that sold for $8,928. So like some of this stuff is, really moving at a high number. Look, yeah, you Jared McCain fans out there, let me know why you're so high on him, because for me, I find this kid super risky. Like being behind Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, like I'm probably more interested in Tyrese Maxey out of anyone on the 76ers.
Yeah.
And
Maxey's.
Paul George has zero love, but at the same time, could you argue that Paul George is going to have a better career than Jared McCain?
I'm sure you could argue that, but I don't know. Like the kids barely play.
Really quick side note: Tyrese Maxey is currently trading at 180, which is half the price of a Zion.
No, that's insane.
It does sound terrible when you say it like that.
He's not in a good situation in Philly, but
alrighty, this one's for me. Free agency update. This is from Shams Sharania. Free agent center forward Precious Achua has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Miami Heat. This is a reunion because he was originally drafted by the Heat. He left as a free agent, I believe, to go to the Knicks. He went to Toronto and then the Knicks. I lied to you. I actually thought he was okay. Like he sort of fitted their system last year. I know he didn't get a lot of minutes, so it kind of makes sense. He would go back to the Heat. My only thing with the Heat this year is, and I was actually listening to David Thorpe talking about the Heat today, and I think they made a really relevant point that their offense last season was so terrible. They've got so many prospects on that team. It's almost like muddied in together. It's like it's really hard to sort of stand out on that team.
Yeah, exactly right.
So unless they promised him 15 minutes a game, 20 minutes a game, something along those lines, it's a little bit tricky for me to sort of see where he fits in. Look, I'm going to put this down to this guy's got more talent than the time he plays. That's the way I look at him. I think he's a really skilled big guy.
And he'll earn some extra court time though.
Well, hopefully, but I just feel like the situations he's been in hasn't been great for him as an individual. So
yeah.
Anyway, stay away from buying Precious Achua, people. I think that's the passing sentiment. This next one I've labeled, why is this so high? And this is from Card Ladder. Eamon Thompson, Black Prism 1/1. It sold for $50,266. Adam, why are people paying $50,000 for an Eamon Thompson 1/1?
Because they got it confused with his brother. His brother's not that good, actually.
I think he's the better one, technically.
Maybe they think this is it. The Rockets are going to the moon this year with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Little do they know that man's used to destroying teams, not helping them go to the promised land.
So for the same price, you could have got the Caitlin Clark Kaboom to 10 and had 10K left over.
I was going to say, and change. You could buy the Brink and the Clark. Almost.
You could buy
almost
20 Zions with the pocket change.
True. You couldn't buy the LeBron downtown though, or
you could not.
No,
you could not.
No.
But all right, no, seriously, is this a good buy? Is this terrible? Where are you at with this?
I don't think pre-season it's a good buy. We haven't even seen what he's done in the off-season, Thompson. Do you know what I mean? Got to see them perform a little bit.
A few comments on this one. People are pointing out that it's from the set Deca, which is another variant of Prism.
Yeah, Deca. Yeah.
And they basically just gave them more room to print more stock out, and they used the old template, which everyone loved from 2012-13.
Yep, they did.
So a few people saying that, do they know it's Deca? Deca is gimmicky like Prism Monopoly, but time will tell. I'm not too sure I agree with that take, because Prism Monopoly genuinely is gimmicky and
a game,
like that's gone. People bought it and they've lost their money and it's done. But at the same time,
this is not this. Yeah, this is different. This is actually just and it's the last time Panini's releasing a product anyway. Who cares?
Well, that's the other thing too. get it in while they've still got the license,
Yep.
right?
Correct.
All right, this next one I called buy, hold, and sell. This is for you, Adam.
We love a good buy, hold, sell.
Yeah.
We love a good buy, hold, sell. Okay.
Şengün 2021 Black Prism rookie card, 1 of 1. PSA 9. Buy, hold, or sell this?
But it depends how much. But buy.
Well, if we just saw a Thompson twin for 50K.
All right. So all right. But we also said that was wild, right?
I personally think it's wild.
I think this is a buy. How much? Is there a sale?
So the Nebula, I'm just looking on card letter sales history. The Nebula sold PSA 8 for $29,000. So let's just say, let's
50K.
let's keep it easy and let's just call it 30K.
Okay. Buy.
You're buying that for 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buying that over the Thompson.
Yeah. I think for me,
I'm buying that and the Brink for 12 and 30 and change.
I'm staying away from the Brink, man. I think at 30, that's totally fine. I think you buy it. My answer would be hold, though. I think
hold, yeah.
Yeah, I just think at the moment with the Rockets where they're going, I mean, the Fred VanVleet injury is terrible for them, like absolutely diabolical, but I still think
That'll be right.
There's some optimism for that team. I just think he's really important for that team, honestly, but yeah, hopefully.
Honestly, I think that's a $50,000 cut, but anyway.
Okay.
Maybe. Şengün played well in Eurobasket, so.
All right, this next one is from Panini America.
Yeah.
And it is an advertisement for Panini Prism Black. So we were just talking about how Panini are finding new ways to increase the print run. So they did Deca. Now they're doing Prism Black. It's going to be available in first off the line on their own website. So another way of saying that is that 100% of the money goes into Panini's products. None of it goes to distributors and all the rest of it. Keeping in mind that first off the line, was it National Treasures? Or was it, no, it was Flawless. It sold for $40,000 a box. So like people are buying this stuff up.
Yeah, also it includes Manga, Color Blast Jewels, and Prismania.
Yeah, so they're absolutely loading these boxes full of stuff. And this is actually a side note to this story, but I think all the remaining products are going to be absolutely loaded.
Loaded with stuff and just,
signatures, memorabilia.
And there's nebulas, there's blue shimmers, there's gold vinyl. Yeah. Like, this is insane.
And I think, sorry, this is just absolutely a side note, but we have to talk about this. What they're also doing too is they've got all these cards that have got signatures on them. So, for example, Optic autographs are going into Obsidian. Like, that's how bad the print run got compressed. They're just chucking them all in. So, I personally don't mind it. I'm not for it, but at the same time, I'd rather an autograph than not.
It's a big money grab, yeah.
Yeah, it's a money grab, but also too the positive is these boxes are absolutely loaded.
Yeah,
I think the obvious question here is: would you buy some of this? Would you go into breaks? Would you buy sealed products? And then would you buy the aftermarket singles? That's my 3 questions for you.
All right. So first one, would I buy the product? It depends what form it comes in, how much it costs.
It's going to be a hobby box, and let's call it $1,000 Aussie.
Okay. Yeah. If for one of our coffee and cards meetups, I would split one of these. Yeah. That would be. Do you know what I mean? I'd go quarters with somebody in a box to draft because why not? Like, it seems like a pretty amazing set as far as the hits and stuff.
The potential hits.
Yeah. Would I go into breaks? I've been burnt a lot by breaks, especially with, like, I don't know. And if it's a pick your team, you end up just paying a premium if you want the good cards, which is fair. I might go into a random break. Who knows?
Yeah.
And aftermarket singles, yes.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't love the Prismania?
Look, I think people will buy this, and I think it'll do well. I just think at the moment there's other products that are coming out that have been doing really well, like Silhouette.
Yeah.
That's got 8 autographs in it.
Haven't they got like a cherry blossom that you want?
I'm not too sure if it's
Anthony
Silhouette.
Looks like a cherry.
Yeah, in this it does. I mean, the other one at the moment, it's a bit more expensive at Noir, iMac. Yeah. Like, all of those have looked like really good so far. So
yeah, that's true.
And I just kind of feel like too, like we were talking about this before in terms of print run and all that type of stuff. Like, what is this going to do to print run? Like, does it actually devalue the Prismania? Because the population
in the short term, maybe. In the long term, no one's going to care.
Well, the population on these is extremely, extremely low currently. So unless they're clearly delineated, with year, which I suppose they
I don't
would
think
be.
they're going to change the pop count on them though. They're not going to. They're rushing product into the market, but they're not going to change how many they release.
Yeah,
but the
it's just an
numbers will still be
interesting
the
one.
same.
Like, if they're concerned about not being able to meet their other deadlines, why are they adding new Prism into it? Or is it just simply the fact that if they're selling it direct to public, they will make exponentially more money? Like, is that actually the answer to it? Where they're making a product that is sold direct to the public instead of through distribution? Like, is that actually the answer?
It could be. Yeah. That could be an angle they're taking. I don't know. I feel like it's a big messy rush to the finish line at the moment.
Yeah, Jordan to close. It's that time already, buddy.
It's that time already. Where are we? Jordan to close.
This is it's a different one. This is really an advertisement from ComC, so we can sort of kill two birds with, one time at the moment. Basically, what they're advertising is you buy a card on ComC, it's already at ComC, you submit to PSA via ComC, the card comes back and you sell it on the ComC marketplace, and they're basically just showing how you can make all this money. But what I think is more interesting is the actual card itself. It's the 2003 Upper Deck glass card. When Jordan is in a Wizards jersey, not a Bulls jersey. It's numbered to 100, if I'm reading this properly. And yeah, I think that's actually a really cool card. I think for me, the price is a little bit too high. Like, I think if you're paying $1,000 for a Wizards card and it's only PSA 9.
Yeah.
In saying that, a lot of Jordan cards that are inserts are unnumbered and they go for, just as high. And this is a numbered card. So
numbered to 100, so maybe it is.
I don't think this is terrible, but at the same time, I don't think this is like an absolute home run. But yeah, I love this card. I like the design. I like the photography. I like the whole thing. So
yeah, it's cool. I like it. I think it's cool. Awesome.
Final thoughts, Adam?
Final thoughts. There's a lot going on in the hobby at the moment, isn't there? A lot of expansion.
Always is, mate.
Just things going like, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about the different things different indexes I could create.
Yeah.
I'll have another index next week. Don't know what it'll be, but
great. Looking forward to it, mate.
The Wondershine Index is going to be very interesting when it takes shape. But we'll see. We'll see what are considered inclusions in that list.
I think this guy is going to be ruffling a lot of feathers at this point.
Is he going to list everything he's got, like his collection, though?
I don't think it's going to be a secret. Like, if he's...
No, but I think if you list your collection, then it's like you're generating interest for the exhibition.
I wonder if it's better for him to keep what he's buying a secret and then reveal it, because otherwise people could potentially
you slow roll it. You slow roll the
bid maliciously against him just to like inflate everything, knowing that he's a whale and he's going to bid high.
Fair. Good point. Really good
thank you to Central Coast Radio. Thank you to all of our listeners on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other podcast platforms.
Yeah.
We appreciate you immensely. And thank you to everybody who sent us nice messages.
Yes.
Not mean messages.
No mean messages, please.
Take care of yourselves, guys. We'll catch you soon.
We'll see you next week. Bye.